I wasn't expecting it, but out of 11 of the fragments I collected out of 50, we already got some pretty good information from all these little fragments, whether they came from different timelines and lives, or this is literally just part of Hanyo actually collecting all this information just to get it on order. It's still a bit confusing with Rika's involvement at the beginning of this introduction, honestly, but especially with Sadako being planned to be dissected because it's implied that she technically killed her parents, and then years later Satoshi then decided to kill their aunt. So it's also just weird to think about that everyone in the cast so far that we've seen, almost everyone has basically killed or just attempted murder, honestly. And the only people so far that we haven't seen them try any of that is Mion and Rika. I mean, you could make the case maybe that Rika was trying to do that with the syringe, but the syringe was obviously to make them get better, but I actually don't think the syringe would actually help in the long run, honestly. Don't know how effective those, like, little vaccines or medicine are, honestly. And from the sound of it, the reason why Sadako always had all those different injections on the ready for, like, 3 to 2, like, syringes, honestly, just because of the constant anxiety and trauma from her killing her parents, honestly. Oh my good god, actually. It all runs in the family, don't it? Oh my good gosh. There's even some really good and interesting just little bits of information for the categories, honestly. Like, just learning where is it that the literal murder, honestly, was caused by the disease itself, which it makes sense. But, like, I wasn't expecting the manager actually wanted to start trying to kill everyone. That does make everything even more gray. I wasn't expecting it to actually be entirely, like, all about a murder, like, caused by, you know, retaliation to defense, honestly, with the combination of hysteria with disease, honestly. That raises a lot of tricky situations to navigate, honestly. But, especially with the conversation, we're just learning a bit more about Oishi's background with the Yogai, honestly. And that little kind of fun to think about, like, a history thing about like when getting rice from the black market was technically the only way to survive back then in Japan, and the moral legal gray area between there. I just keep getting reminded back then to like in Danganronpa V3 during like the first chapter, this one anecdote by one of the side characters, technically Kaede sidekick at Shuichi, talking about like one case he went on about when he figured out a murder where the victim was someone who killed the killer killed this one victim just because the victim was like very abusive to their person, and they tried everything, and yet still the victim caused someone to kill themselves, honestly, and there was absolutely no justice in the sound of it. It was a bit just hearing that, honestly, just makes this whole thing entirely of everything seemed really great. That if the law's against you or it's not gonna help out, and if you try to get help, sometimes it's always that weird thing of what can you do then, and the whole entire conversation of the rice fields honestly reminded me of that little tidbit from that game, honestly. There's a lot of interesting stuff, honestly, throughout this here, and I think I might have a clear indication of where to go next. Like, we gotta go down to Rika's, just self-introduction there too, but if anything else, after that, these 3 look actually the most viable from the contents. Although, the only reason I'm not going to it really quickly is just because of how specific the requirements are, and doesn't feel like it meets the requirements just well. A life specimen for research required. It could be talking about in a roundabout way of actually going back to the main culprit going missing from the murder here, especially after hearing about the second sacrifice, which I'm a bit I swear, if you're gonna go to this one just to unlock this one out of order, then I'll be very messed up and sad. It does seem like we already have it unlocked for that, but unless I see a tip or anything like that, we have no other ways to go. Like, I'm gonna hold off on that before we get to it. If one tip like brings up actually the police, like the hospital finding, like you know, their team finding, I guess, the main culprit and then taking in, then I'll click on it. And they talked about Sadako's detailed test results in Here's the Second Sacrifice, but the decision was very obviously left omitted. Him just eerily just deliberating on whether he should go with it or not. We know what he chose, technically speaking, but it was never like stated like like he said yes or no. It's another thing right there for that. Plus, that also goes to this again anyway, of discontinuation of Sadako Hojo's dissection plan, and also from Erie's mode to become a doctor has already got there, so those three technically could be viable, honestly, next. And the rest, obviously, we don't have quite just yet. There's also this, which, I don't, like, it could work, honestly, since, Sadako mentioned, it seemed like she said no to Satoshi's visit in a roundabout way, just saying, like, no, I'm not lonely. It could count for that, but it seems very, like, you can gloss over that, so I don't know if I want to go for that just well, even though it's in the same subject matter as their parents' death, honestly, so, might just go all the way to Rika, honestly, now for all this, and get things moving. I ran into Sadako on my way to the grocery store with my mother. Sadako said she was going there too. Oh, this is the shopping trip, a little tip there, I get that requirement now immediately. Sadako said she was going there too, so we decided to go together. After exchanging our shopping lists, it became easy to guess what the other family would be having for dinner. Sadako's family is having grilled fish and cooked vegetables. Fish. Steak is better. We're having Salisbury steak. Look at that! Yes! Immediately! Thank you, Rika. You have good taste. Oh, I just love steak too much. My, that sounds so very good. I don't mind the grilled fish, but there's vegetables I'm less fond of. And thinking about it, I don't even think I remember having a lot of Salisbury steak besides those TV dinner stuff. Man. I had too many of those as a kid, honestly. My dad didn't know how to cook that well back then. I'm certain there's still plenty of pumpkin left from the other day. Is there squash in the menu too? And I bet you'll be getting a lot tonight. Poor Sadako Hoshi. It's been a while since we heard a star. I don't appreciate knowing that pumpkin is going to show up on the dinner table. Make it sound like it's just been growing that back in the background of your own house, leave a little greenhouse. Meep, Hoshi. You don't like pumpkin no matter how it shows up. Not even pumpkin pie. Rika, you have some food you're not fond of, don't you? That's right, you don't like daifuku, cream puffs, or anything sweet, don't you? You don't like anything sweet? What? I thought I remember there was a time back then, like in the Tips in the Forest time that really took some sweet stuff, honestly, from the store. Am I misremembering that? It's not that I don't like those things. I just choosing to eat them. Oh, okay, that's a big deliberation, big distinction. If I wanted to, I could eat sweets forever. Yeah, I thought so. I could even eat pumpkin pie too. Napa, Hoshi. You fucking like pumpkin pie, don't you? Oh, it's not fair that you aren't a picky eater. Oh, look, I'm a picky eater, honestly. Literally. I remember just, I was such a picky eater, honestly, the doctors warned me, you're too skinny, please eat something. Oh my god. Conversations like this are how I have fun. Sadako's my best friend. I usually don't like grocery shopping, but if I'm with Sadako, I can make it into an enjoyable evening stroll. But it's afternoon. Okay, now it's evening. Near the supermarket, there's grocers and other shops, forming a little shopping district. The grocery store is busy this time of day. All the housewives in Hinamizawa gather here to shop. Since Sadako and I have different things to buy, we decided to do our shopping separately. Welcome! Welcome! Oh, Rika-chama! Are you shopping for your mother? What a good girl. Napa, Hoshi. I'm a good girl who can go shopping by herself. Oh, wow, you really are a good girl. Here, I'll give you this. There are several candies for the owner's occasional asthma attack instead of... Candies for an asthma attack? Wait, what? Inside a sheave full of chains hanging in the front. Okay. He picked out a sweet from there and gave it to me. I can imagine like low blood sugar and stuff like that, but an asthma attack? It was my favorite flavor. Strawberry milk! God damn, that's where this came from! The fucking strawberry milk candy! My god, thank god I can get rid of that goddamn fragment. That single cracked fragment screen is honestly mocking me at this point. It was mocking me. I put in my pocket so I can brag about the Sadako later. Wait, she's not even right behind you? Man, you could have bragged her right then and there. I get a lot of fun out of teasing Sadako and making her jealous. She always overreacts. Don't make it bored when I'm with her. What are you having for dinner tonight, Rika-chama? Ground pork? We're making Salisbury steak. We're gonna put flower-shaped fried eggs in the top and draw pictures with them with ketchup. Oh ho ho, that sounds like fun. I enjoy the conversation while filling my shopping basket. But then I overheard some women whispering. I'm assuming this is about Sadako and the Hojo family then. They're talking about something that's a little harsh. They're talking about Sadako. Yeah, figures. How long do those village traders plan to stay here? They should just leave. They don't even have the guts to go shopping themselves and make their daughter do it instead. The woman went on and on. Just Rika's like, hello, I'm here to like go shopping for my mother then. Oh, you're fine, Rika. Okay, please go away. The adults are talking. Ever since the Hojo family and the Sonozaki family got into a huge fight at the explanatory meeting for the dam project, the Hojo family has been ostracized within the village. At first, there was a significant number of families in favor of leaving like the Hojos, but the main branch of the Sonozakis led a push to completely solidify the village's opinion, and as that tone of unified resistance grew stronger, the pro-evacuation families steadily grew quiet. The public harassment led by the Sonozakis and Kimiyoshis, two of the three families with powerful influence in the village, also played an effect too. The fucking Kimiyoshis are behind this goddamn thing as well. Ugh, good god. The Sonozaki family made the Hojo family into an example, to ensure there'd be no more pro-evacuation supporters. The ancestors of the villagers have lived here for generations, and the villagers also know that they put themselves will be buried in this village. So this harassment put a lot of pressure on them. Who was it agreed to make the Hojo family the leader, the pro-evacuation group, the explanatory meeting? Well, I mean, those same people no longer said anything. They even joined on harassing the Hojo family. No, those people are the true traitors here, honestly, out of anything else. The harassment they faced then became pressure from the entire village. The Hojo family is hardly wealthy. They haven't paid the town council fees in a long time. When things were peaceful, nobody said anything about it. But now that the wind was blowing a different way, the Hojo family was asked to pay off all their late council fees immediately. Just had so many goddamn monthly late fees in your library and just the book rentals and the movies. And now I'm either pay it all or get the fuck out of here, mister. This public service is not available for you now. It wasn't an amount they couldn't afford, but the Hojos recognized a fight was being picked with them and they responded to it. And so the Hojo family quit the town council. Oh, But that only played right into the village's evil plan. Making an enemy of the town council meant facing vicious harassment. Oh, yay. For example, the place the Hojos dumped their trash was a provisional dumping site established for the town council and the waste management department. Under the council agreement, only council members could use it. Ever since the day the Hojo family quit the village council, their trash bags returned to their front door. Furthermore, all the bags are torn. Wow, what the fuck? My first immediate thought is be a petty bastard and leave it onto one of the town council's house front porch instead of oh sorry, sorry about this. I think there's a mistake. I think you brought this to the wrong house. A little sticky note on top of there. and it's even ripped even more. On top of that, a sign went up on the hedgerow near the Hojo family. It said, "Private road, no trespassing. Only council members permitted." Several men stood and guard the road so that he would not let any of the Hojo family members pass through. Meaning a private road is private property open up to the public, so it looks just like an old road. Whereas private property, the owner can forbid anyone else to pass through it whenever they like. That's... Yeah, that just goes to those signs for the establishment that say no loitering. Which, technically speaking, that's literally just a nothing law, just so you can just easily get rid of people, honestly, from your establishment, honestly. Yay. More and more, the village piled on vicious harassment. The fear antagonism spread through the entire village. When people became afraid that they support the Hojo family, they go through the same thing. This has made the Hojo family even more isolated. The grown-ups haven't told their kids what's going on, so Sadako isn't harassed anyway at school. But it wasn't hard to imagine she probably spent her days feeling so anxious she could hardly breathe. Yay. Even when whispering in here aren't saying anything directly to Sadako. It's not like she doesn't notice their muttering in the cold stares. Why does this village become so cold towards her? Like, was the day after the explanatory meeting then? That's her best friend. It's very sad for me. Sadako's shopping experience is nothing like mine. When I say hello or buy things, I usually get treats or a discount. But it doesn't happen to Sadako, a price increase. On the contrary, she's sure to last on purpose, and sometimes shop owners even pretend they don't hear her. Obviously, people don't want to have anything to do with her. Sadako had been weaving through the housewives crying the shop, telling the fishmonger what she wanted, but she kept getting ignored. She's decided to keep her smile and pretend she doesn't mind, but I know. It's far too painful for her to endure. At that point, Sadako dropped her coins on the ground. You won't get this 10 fucking yen coin on my watch, fuck you all people. Her finger got stuck in something when she was trying to put the change back into her wallet. I ran through the crowd to help her pick them up. But as I did, I noticed something. Sadako dropped a lot of coins and is struggling to pick them all up, but nobody's helping her. It's not just that, it's almost like they're acting like they don't even see her there. I mean, Sadako isn't expecting anyone to help her, since she's the one who dropped them. But, there's so many people around. Not even one is trying to aid her. Sadako, I'll help you. I'm okay, Rika. That reaction is all I need to know to tell how hurt she is. Furthermore, when I started to help Sadako, other housewives started to pick up the coins too. That's just a natural thing to do. So they can only help if the shrine maiden of the Furuta family does. If I didn't help, they would have disregarded her completely. In fact, the other people helped only because I did hurt Sadako even more. I grabbed the coins in the house without thanking them. You're on my fucking shit list now, my you person. How about not spit at them than do that? I'd rather spit at them than do that. Nice. Thank you very much, Rika. Everyone. The last line better, you better say the most absolute enthusiasm. Everyone. You shouldn't thank them. The people would talk with that too. Sadako forced out her words of gratitude. The housewives looked down at her with blank expressions. I can't stand this. I can't stand what Sadako's going through right now. I mean, if we're done, let's go, Sadako. Sure. I grabbed Sadako's arm and pulled her away. So it's basically just that weird sort of conflict where everyone likes Rika, but then everyone hates Sadako because of the whole fight thing. I wonder exactly how it all feels when Rika's like best friends with her. How I can imagine people are like just doing this whole weird one-sided thing of I could probably just imagine just Sadako doesn't deserve a friend like Rika or something like that. I'm just trying to I wonder how they even try to rationalize in their own brains then. Or just never commenting at all just because of that whole thing, just joining the harassment then, so they don't get harassed as well. I was frustrated, sad, and bitter. What has Sadako done? Absolutely nothing. She has nothing to do with this. I don't even think I don't even think it was implied that she ever was at the exclamatory meeting. But because apparently from her stepfather, that broke things immediately. So fuck him in particular from the sound of it, in a roundabout way. Reality is just too cruel. Everyone loves me, but can I share that love with Sadako? Sadako must be wondering why people treat me so differently. I shouldn't come shopping with her. Or rather, I should have done her shopping instead. Sadako? What is it, Rika? I feel bad that you've dropped your coins. Well, so here's something that'll make you happy. I wanted to at least ease her pain a little bit, so I pulled out the strawberry milk candy to succeed. The strawberry milk cream candy! But Sadako refused to take it. That candy was given to you. My hand froze. She saw. Yeah, I figured. She saw me getting this candy. That person wanted you to eat it. So if I did, that'd be rude. No, it'd be just right, honestly, for the just desserts, honestly, by this point. Just slipping into her pocket. Secretly, so. Sadako turned her back at me and kept walking. Without even saying goodbye, she came down to her house with the shopping bags in her hands. I only wanted to ease her pain, but I ended up rubbing salt in her wound. How can I call myself her best friend? If I could, I would have crushed the candy right there. Just grab a random sledgehammer on the side and just break it. And like it makes it even worse, honestly, with the imagery of just they like from the sound of it like one end of the road, honestly, is technically now property that they can't go down, whether for shortcuts or otherwise. That's so depressing, actually. Well, at least this is unlocked, and I can actually fucking fix the fucking broken glass, the fragment. God damn it! Mion-san, do something. Your friend is here. I heard the housekeeper's voice. Our house and the front yard are huge, so unlike normal houses, ringing a doorbell or yelling my name repeatedly, asking to play won't work. Okay. Okay, thank you. Who is it? Rika Fruity-chama. Oh, finally! Can you tell Granny that Rika-chama's here? I think she's in the porch. I'll get the watermelon. The fucking watermelon's here now! God damn it! All the food stuff is now coming in one after another now. Granny received many beautiful watermelons from somebody, so she wanted to share. I just called the Fruity house a short time ago, and Rika-chan is here to pick one up. Did she come here on her bicycle? I can't remember if it was a big enough basket. I pulled the watermelon from the well while thinking about that. Would it even fit on the bicycle, depending on how big are like those kind of bike baskets actually? And I think watermelons are bigger than that off the top of my head. The cold water in the wells refrigerate the watermelon, and the condensation makes it look delicious. Yes, water makes everything look delicious. Good God. The 3 members of the Fruity family will enjoy it for at least 2 nights. Meep? Am I supposed to take it home? Yes. Make sure you can actually put in the basket. The bike is strong enough that you can drive it back home instead of it just makes a little fulcrum and you just fly out the bike. Honestly, put in the basket. I thought, what? Didn't your dad tell you? The priest answered the phone. I thought I told him to come pick it up. Well, maybe I wasn't clear enough, or maybe he misunderstood me completely. But she's here to eat the watermelon, not to take it home. Besides, a small basket and Rika-chan's bicycle won't hold the watermelon. Yeah, I figured. Man, it's too dangerous for her to ride while holding her hands. She can ride with her 3rd arm holding the handlebars. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Everyone has a 3rd and 4th arm. It's just invisible. Mion, why don't you help Rika-chan take the watermelon? There's no way she can ride her bicycle carrying it. Yeah, okay, you got it, Granny. Meep. I can hold the watermelon. I mean, technically you can hold it, but I'm not on the bicycle, no. No, that's too dangerous. If something happened to you, I wouldn't know what to say to Oyashiro-sama. Mia will help you. You could say to, like, Hanya's right the fuck there, right next to her, so. Okay, I will. I'll go say hello to the priest, too. No matter whether she rides or pushes her bicycle, Rika-chan's hands will be occupied. She's gonna carry the watermelon. The sky is turning auburn in the sunset. The cool breeze feels good on my sandaled feet. The plastic bag I'm carrying contains the watermelon, and also some small bags of rock candy. I see! Rock candy! Everything's all coming together now. If mother finds them, she'll take them away, so we decided to eat them before we got to her home. Put them in the bags and enjoy the rock candy. But what kind of flavor is them? It's a blue raspberry. Rika-chan is an exception. Whenever kids from our neighborhood come to our house for errands, Granny gives them some treats. Actually, that's a pretty common rule here in Mizawa. You better, like, get some treats from every single house you go to or die. That's the advanced trick-or-treating rules. It's funny, but sometimes when parents aren't watching, siblings will fight over who gets to take the circular notice to the next house over. No, okay, that makes a lot of sense now. So these bags of rock candy are like tips to them. That's fucking currency to the kids. Yay. Of course, she doesn't only give out this much. It's like 10 fucking pounds of pure sugar. It's the kid cocaine. My God. Usually it's just a little piece of it. Granny's being extra nice to Rika-chama. I feel bad getting all this candy. You shouldn't. It's early Halloween, honestly. What's the... I don't think they celebrate that over in Japan, but like, what's the equivalent? Now I want to know. What's the holiday equivalent of Halloween over there? The spooks. Don't worry. Granny loves you. You should just thank her and put a big smile on your face, that's all. Do you get lots of treats? I used to. But at this age, they don't give me any. How discriminatory, ageist. They did, though. I'll probably feel as being treated like a little kid. It's free food. Take it. Meep. I'm being treated like a child, then. You're technically still. That's okay. Enjoy what you can. When you become as old as me, you won't even get any, even if you wanted some. I mean, if I'm with that attitude, I'm nothing because you didn't say anything then. As I talked about ordinary things, I noticed Rika-chan seemed a little sad. Oh, is this the extension of the last one? The other fragment? Oh. What's wrong? Whenever I run errands, I get candy as a treat. But Sadako doesn't get any even if she comes with me. I can think of so many reasons why. Not only Sadako, but everyone in the Hojo family is being treated poorly in Hinamizawa. And the Sonozaki family are the ones who instigated that. The 2 dam supporters have died in an accident already. Oh, this is way later on, actually. Never mind. The malice against the Hojo family is still going. It started against Sadako and Satoshi, the children. And the aunt and uncle were taking care of them. The big fight between the Hojo family and the Sonozaki family, the explanatory meeting, started all this. But that was the Hojo couple, and it shouldn't have anything to do with the children and their aunt and uncle. The idea that the Hojo family are traitors evolved on its own. Therefore, anyone bearing the Hojo name is to be treated poorly. The aunt and uncle weren't dam supporters, so over time the attack towards them should have stopped. But they're rather odd, and they keep having trouble with their neighbors. They don't follow the community rules, they don't do their community duties, and they spray pesticide while their neighbors' laundry is still hanging outside. Well, that seems a bit, meh, honestly. You have to get into fights with other villagers. They'd be hated even without the dam. Therefore, the Hojo family continues to be treated poorly. Oh, so literally just, the fact that they exist made everything worse then. My good god. But none of that should have anything to do with Sadako and Satoshi. Sadako and Satoshi are often depressed at school. I try to leave the conflict between the 2 families aside, but I wonder how they really feel about that. From their point of view, I'm just another member of the family that keeps harassing them. I don't want any of that at school. That's why I try to be their friend while we're there, but nowhere else in the sound of it, how you put it like that. How can we get that to extend outside too, instead of staying in the school? That'd be pretty difficult. The Hojo family made enemies of the 3 families. They were branded as traitors, and that's still considered the truth. It won't even mean anything if one person suggested an end to the hostility just because the events around the dam have history now. On the contrary, that would just put them in the same position. Unfortunately for Sadako and Satoshi, the only thing they can do is to wait patiently until the issue withers away. All I can do for them is provide an oasis until the day comes. The eye in the middle of the fucking storm. So, how long do they have to wait? I don't know. The dam conflict lasted for several years. They were branded back then, so it might take years to clear up too. Do you mean they won't be forgiven until they become adults? Will Sadako have to live out their childhood going through that? That's pretty miserable, isn't it? Yay. Me? We are their friends, aren't we? Sure. The sure makes it sound like you're almost like, you disagree. Sure, they're my friends. We're all buddies. Buddies, not pals. And isn't there something we can do to help our friends? What exactly can we do? Even the Sonozaki family declares that the dam conflict is over, so the Hojo family are no longer outcasts. That won't solve the problem. It's not that simple. In the first place, Granny hates the Hojo family and won't suffer their name to be mentioned in their presence. It's not a matter of someone forgiving another. It's a matter of very complicated ties between the people in this village. Yay, and just unborn hostilities. It's absolutely terrifying to have them as your enemies. Everyone knows that very well, and that's why they maintain good relationships with their neighbors. However, if you make enemies out of them, you'll have to face the consequences. You fucking spraying Febreze too close to my goddamn laundry outside. I want this to smell naturally clean, not artificially. My good god. And that's the unwritten law of the Japanese community. And the Sonozaki family is part of this unwritten law. Now the Hojo family are outcasts, not even the Sonozaki family can overturn the situation. Yay. So even if it's an issue in Hinamizawa, we can't do anything about it as Hinamizawa residents? Unfortunately, it's probably so, yeah. If someone who can help Sadako, that person must be someone who has nothing to do with the village. But there's no one like that here. Oh, so that's where Keiichi comes into play, yeah. Are you saying that someone from the outside has to come help her? Unfortunately. Like Rika-chan says, would a knight in shining armor from the outside world ever come here? Let person bring in a new wind to this village that has been filled with stale air for hundreds of years? Or you could just get just an actual, a fan. Electric fan. No way. That's just wishful thinking. Time will just solve the problem someday, and time isn't always on your side! Until then, I have to be their ally. I can't think of anything else I can do for them. As Rika-chan and I crunched on our rock candy, we can only pray that people will forgive Sadako and her family sooner rather than later. Rika-chan gently broke the heavy silence. Wait, I know. Eh? I know someone has absolutely nothing to do with the village will come here from the outside. Your prophecies are already going into full effect. Oh, that's right. The damn complex is over, so it'd be great if more people moved into these lots that are for sale. Wouldn't it be fun if a family with a kid our age moved in? He will come. Who's he? I know. We'll break this evil practice alongside him. That will be the first key to one of the 3 locks that have us trapped in the past. The 3 locks. Eh? What's this? Are you talking about a novel or something? No, 3 locks. Not a novel, but a visual novel instead. Get that right. Rika-chan says some odd things sometimes. When she talks that way, she seems so mature. I even sort of doubt she's really younger than I am. Mentally, she's way older. Well, in the very second she remembers her past lives. Before then, her mental age is still the same age. Okay, gotcha. The unreasonable antagonism towards the Hojo family. Will there really be someone from the outside who would shatter our old traditions? At least in one timeline. At least in one. Don't know if that will actually, I guess we'll just see if everyone remembers that, or just again, Rika just goes to every single adult and just slaps them. No! Bad adult. Bad. Finally, this goddamn thing is out of the way. The fragment is now completely repaired now. My good god, who knew super glue can actually fix a window like this? My good god, magic. Absolute magic. Okay, so the rock candy should go to one of these, wasn't it? What was it? Rock candy. Watermelon's right there. Ryugu's family was required, so that's another thing. Red capsule. I think that's literally just when she moves in, but that's a combination of all the one over here. Where was the one involved about rock candy? Just so I have it on hand. That's the rest of the special ones. Rock candy. Okay, we have this. Sadako Hojo's Dito test result. We have that immediately. I was thinking we actually see, I guess, the whole thing of the fragments, even though these are all sort of mixed up and on each individual page, and we just slowly go from a leaning order of from chronologically all the way to the present, honestly, but we're jumping around quite a bit from the looks of it. Or maybe I'm not going through the actual path of mixing chronological. Anyway, so what's happened over here in the little leagues? You're making some big leaps and bounds. A group of boys are playing baseball under the powerful sun. The sound of cicadas makes the heat stand out even more. But to those boys, it's just another kind of cheering from the crowds. And he's made another home run! It only just went to first base. Shut up, it's a home run for me! Of course, they go through training exercises to build stamina, but the boys don't actually like such routine activities. They look forward to the most is the free game after practice. The school in Hinamizawa is actually borrowed from the forestry service. Yes. The schoolyard is made of gravel, so it's not very appropriate for playing sports on. I wouldn't say appropriate, more if you play on it, you injure yourself way much more faster. I don't want to get more gravel into my goddamn legs, honestly, from that age. No. Sand is better. Compared to that, the grounds of the school in Okonomiya are properly maintained for athletic activities. The kids grow even more energetic when they come here. Kids from Hinamizawa really don't care if the ground is made of gravel or not. Well, they're tougher than... Their instructor is watching the game, so I decided to go get some drinks for the team. Is this Satoshi or Shion? Okay, I think this is okay. Is this your Shion then? We need more Shion content. Okay, she better have a good important role in the later parts of this. She needs more screen time. Okay, Coach, where are you going? Goddamn, we're in his goddamn head. Where's fucking Shion now? I thought I'd go get some drinks for everyone. Do you mind helping me, Satoshi-kun? Oh no, not at all. Like you're not helping, or it's not a problem to help? Satoshi-kun decided to come along with me. Sometimes kids don't like what grown-ups choose, so I'm glad he agreed to help. Ah, that's why he's here, so he can make the right choice for the whole team. That's it. Now that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. He's here not to help, but to choose the right one. Satoshi-kun and I got into the car and head to the grocery store nearby. Hey, manager? How's Sadako doing? Oh, okay, we're in his head, and that's where we get his decision inside his own brain. Well, she's doing fine. Although it's an extremely slow process, her emotional wounds are healing. I think we should let her rest for a little longer. It's natural for Satoshi-kun to be worried. Sadako-chan has been in the hospital for over 2 weeks. Yeah. Of course, he doesn't know his sister has Hinamizawa syndrome, the HS. Not only that, she's also Del 5. She could become deranged any moment. It's gonna take a while. He believes she's depressed because of the shock of their parents' accident. I mean, even if, like, honestly, even if she didn't, I guess, even kill her parents, like, back then because of the stress and, like, even the disease, honestly, even back then, I feel like people would still become even stressed because they were right there when a death happened, honestly. So either, like, even if Eerie probably didn't even realize, like, she was being affected by the disease or anything like that, he'd probably just, well, I don't think he even realized that Sadako actually killed her parents, honestly, the sound of it, but just the fact that the disease is causing all the stress, honestly, so, He came to the clinic every day to cheer his sister up, but Sadako-chan has become emotionally unstable, and was showing some dangerous symptoms, so we called off the visits. You called it up, but not her. That's not a requirement just yet. In fact, Sadako-chan is not doing so well. L5, the stage Sadako-chan is at, is a very abnormal one. The man from last year was the same stage, was acting so abnormal that even a drug addict in his final stages would have turned and ran. There's no guarantee that Sadako-chan would fall into the same condition. When we performed the autopsy on that man last year, we learned the true identity of the syndrome, and gained a great understanding of its mechanisms. We even discovered some important facts that may lead to development of a cure. However, we have yet to find a method of actually curing the disease, mostly just alleviating the symptoms, honestly. Does that mean we can go to that one fragment on the very first page, then, with all this? So if Sadako-chan becomes unrecoverable, we may have to dissect her, just like we did with the man from last year. How can I tell Satoshi-kun about his sister's situation? All I can do is make vague comments and lie to him when she's recovering. Yeah, imagine just saying to someone, I'm being a doctor in a family, just oh, we found out that your loved one has a previously unknown disease, and we're trying to figure out how the disease works to make sure he's better. Don't worry about it though. We're making great strides. We probably need to dissect her brain now at some point. It becomes too weird. What if she becomes much worse? That would make me an unforgivable liar. Lying is not all that bad. A tiny bit of consciousness that remains in me hurts. If it's so much bad for you, then just do a weird spin around of lying with the truth, okay? Lie with the truth, okay? If it's okay with your clinic, can she stay there a little longer? Why are you saying that? I thought he wanted her to come home as soon as possible, so I'm a little surprised. Well, actually, Sadako doesn't get along with her aunt. I heard she doesn't get along with her parents, but she can't get along with your aunt and uncle either? Sadako doesn't open up to grown-ups. Satoshi-kun has told me that about their family background. Their mother's constant remarriages wounded her children deeply. Satoshi-kun was able to overcome it, but Sadako-chan was too young to be able to do that. That left her traumatized, and she now has a tendency to distrust or dislike guardians who aren't related to her. Actually, nobody would like a guardian who isn't related to them. Not just Sadako-chan, at first. But usually people try to deal with that, even if they don't like it. I guess Sadako-chan's not capable of that. I mean, if she was like was that young when it happened, that makes all that even more. Yeah. Our uncle wasn't home much. Besides, even when he is, he's either sleeping or watching TV, so he's the problem. Our aunt really goes after Sadako. Why doesn't she like her? Well, I mean, I can guess why. Rhetorical question. Sadako-chan's parents were damn proponents, and because of that, the villagers considered the aunt and uncle part of the Hojo family and ostracized them as such. Moreover, they passed away suddenly in an accident and left 2 children behind. So I guess there would be more hate there than gratitude. If she had been obedient like Satoshi-kun, everything would have been fine. But Sadako-chan can't be that way. She shows it in her attitude and expressions, which leads to her and her aunt having a big fight. I mean, I told my aunt about Sadako's situation, but she can't just understand. I think you're a great big brother, Satoshi-kun. You're the one and only relative Sadako-chan has left now. Right, I feel that way too. Satoshi-kun said that with a slight hint of a sigh. He doesn't say it. It seems Satoshi-kun has grown tired of having to cover for Sadako-chan every time she and her aunt fight. He's a good person, as well as a good old big brother. So I'm sure he'll do anything to cover for his sister. But that's a very exhausting thing to keep doing forever. Satoshi-kun was already doing that when their parents were alive. When eventually his mental equilibrium couldn't handle the strain, he grew sick and he visited my clinic. I thought his circumstances might have improved with their initial cause. His parents were gone. It seems things are even worse than before. I understand. I can't release Sadako-chan if things are like that. Christians may return again. Don't worry about the hospital fees. I'll make sure Sadako-chan truly recovers. But at the same time, like, wasn't she at home, though, from the looks of it, I thought? Or the very time that the aunt was around, actually, and when the aunt died, technically speaking, that Sadako was still at the clinic the entire time for, like, she was there for over a year? Okay. Well, trying to pretend I'm listening to his request, I feel a little disgusted at myself for making such selfish excuses. I'll make sure. Like, I mean, Takano-san is working on our dissection plan as we speak. If that's possible, that'll help me too. What? I mean, Sadako stays in the clinic a little while longer, then I can relax as well. That's all. What do you mean? I mean, as soon as Sadako comes back, I know she'll get into fights with my aunt again. Then it's back to those days of constant fighting and screaming again. I'll probably get dragged into it too. So, Sadako were hospitalized for a very long time. That would be the easiest on me, but when I think like that... I hate myself. Satoshi-kun. Satoshi-kun is a great big brother who always sticks up for his little sister. Doesn't mean he doesn't always feel burdened. Yeah. Maybe if it happened for a while, and probably the aunt like just visited Sadako a few times, and yeah. To think things like that, what a terrible big brother I am. The more I think that way, the more I hate myself. Don't spiral, please. Satoshi-kun said, sniffling once. His expression was one of anguish, as if truly feeling his own sin. His desire to be a big model big brother is putting himself under greater pressure. I feel bad for Sadako-chan. I also feel bad for Satoshi-kun in a different way. As someone who knows the both of them well, I feel that I must be their ally, since they don't have anyone else who cares about them. The decision was not in there, though. It was not in there, though. Guess it makes a lot of sense, though. That he would just be still thinking about it. Plus, it makes the whole dissection plan probably even worse in his own brain, just because hey, don't worry, your sister's gonna be fine, and I got you joined this little leagues thing, and you're getting better, like expressing yourself and exercising your frustrations in this game. At the same time, I think about killing your own sister. Yeah, yeah. Okay, let's see. Rika and Shadako's shopping trip is required. We already got that first half done, but the Shinto priest, we haven't heard anything about Rika's father just yet, so not just that yet. The part-time job hasn't appeared yet. Awareness of the sins, nothing like that. Again, prior consent, Rika produced high fever, nothing like that. Yes, yet. Rika says for snag, instruction of the kidnapping. Yeah, we haven't heard anything about that just yet either. Third year, we don't have that with them. The sister must refuse to visit the clinic. We don't have anything about that, but would that, I guess, technically the last fragment count for this requirement then? But, don't know if that would be quite it, though. Okay, so there must be one of these three here, honestly, over, like, these three, honestly, over this L for this one. Must be it, but what are these again? L5 patient, we don't have that yet. Death of the aunt, not yet. Rika's dad and mom, no. Okay. Decision has not been done yet. So, discontinuation of Sadako Hodo's dissection plan is required. Motive is done. We don't have anything about that just yet, though, so... Another thing we have to technically talk about is the first sacrifice. Like, nothing else feels like we can click on it, or, like, if there is something unlocked right now that we can, like, go through, then they put it into roundabout wording, honestly, that I can't quite see. Let's see, then, again. Well, I don't know, we got that, but Ryugu is not here, Reina's not here. That's basically just talking about Keiichi's parents, like, coming here, finally. Okay, so, I think out of all these, this is probably the most, I guess, requirements might go to. We already had discussions talking about both the dam product and also as well, the dam product as well, and him on the run. L5 patient, all that, and the tragedy of the dam construction site. This is probably the only one. I swear I'll be mad if this doesn't work. Okay, does that mean we can actually click on this, actually, the very first time after the dam tragedy, honestly? What would the other requirement then be, honestly? Or just a small hint of what else we need to do? I was half asleep, so I didn't even hear the phone ringing nearby. After a while, I finally realized the phone was ringing. And a ringing phone means there's some kind of emergency, because it's on the big red telephone on the desk. It's 2 in the morning. Who would even call me this time of night? Hello, this is Eerie. I'm sorry to bother you, Dr. Eerie. Or Director Eerie, is that what it is? In all this, maybe? It's Takano-san. She's never called me for a personal reason. And she's ranked just below me, so she's just basically responsible for running it. So for her to call me this late at night, it must be for emergency. Sorry it took me so long. Is it true that we have another terminal patient? Another? Yes. I was hoping to find a living specimen, so this is perfect. I initially thought she'd abducted someone. Technically speaking, away. Oh, hi! I can't believe it. This I can't believe it. That's part of the clinic as well. You recreated it from your childhood trauma, then Takano. Wow. Oh crap. The man had already been moved to the research area in the clinic's basement. Oh, it's basement stuff, yay. Having been tied down to the examination table. He's struggling against its restraints, but more as though he's deranged than actually resisting. I can't even understand what he's saying. He sounds angry, sorrowful, and like a child throwing a tantrum all at once. It's obvious that he's not in the right state of mind. Anyway, let's put him under anesthesia. He might kill himself otherwise. Just chew on his own neck, apparently. Like, just somehow just twist your own neck so your mouth goes to it then. I want to observe him a little longer, but I guess I have no other choice. Isn't he technically, yeah. Takano had a fun time just watching him restrain himself and just try to break and thrash like an animal. Okay. Oh my good god. Yeah, my good god. I'm still trying to get more invested as her as a villain, but like my brain just mostly now like consists of like trying to even think of the god complex thing and just she's just being a bit crazy and nothing else too deep, honestly. That's probably not, like, also another reason why I'm not exactly that too much invested in her, honestly, to be honest. Even with the, I guess, more sympathetic background, honestly, but they haven't really addressed that sudden change a bit, and I can't think of anything for it, so maybe probably just because of that. I'm not exactly having much fun with her as a villain so far, to think about that a bit more. Even a normal person would struggle to escape a restraining table in this suspicious room. This looks like a normal hospital room, thank you very much, Eerie. What are you thinking? What are you looking at in this room, honestly? This man's behavior is at an abnormal level. I'm sure Okanogi-san and his friends the men dogs are the ones who captured him. Catching a man in this state of mind couldn't have been an easy task. They all dogpiled him. According to Takano, she ran into this patient on her way home from the clinic by accident. Oh, okay. Just by accident. Okay, it was just a pure coincidence. Coinky dink. According to Takano, she ran into this patient on her way home from the clinic by accident. She brought him back here, tested him, and the result came back positive. You just see now the image of just seeing her, like, just Takano like driving back and forth to her house and back to the clinic, honestly, and just seeing some drug addicts in the way, just shambling this way and that, like, maybe this person would be good. Kidnaps them. Oh no, you're just a normal drug addict. Okay, back onto the street you go. Of course, I have no intention of just believing what she's telling me, but there is no question that this man is the terminal stage. Live specimen is exactly what we need to research the syndrome. Who is this man anyway? He had something wrapped in the newspaper. What do you think was in it? What is this? This thing wrapped in bloody newspaper in the tray nearby. Looking at the blood-drenched paper, I can only imagine there's something gruesome inside of it. What did they decide to do with the arm afterwards, honestly? Yeah, Takano-san looked like she wanted to surprise me with something interesting. It's a nice present, don't worry about it, Eerie. Oh, God, this is awful. It's a bloody right arm. General right-hand man stuff. The man at the table still has his. This right arm doesn't belong to him. Look, it's a secret third arm. Why is no one getting this into their goddamn brains? Whenever someone's invisible limbs gets torn off, it becomes visible again. That's what it means. It's superpower, okay? Everyone has superpower in this world, honestly. From one way to another, okay? Why can't it be that man has that too? So who does it belong to? Him, of course. I'm used to looking at things like this as a doctor. The horrible cross-section makes me want to look away. It wasn't done according to a medically acceptable method, that's for sure. Just using a giant red axe, honestly, is not the medically accepted method. It has to be done by small incision scalpel, nothing else. It was obviously done out of cruelty. Judging by this situation, we can assume this man cut off this arm. So he's the culprit behind the body dumping that's been occurring in the neighborhood? At that point, there was no way of knowing the right arm belonged to. Wait, you say in the area? Like, is this like a day or two after the body dumping thing, or like after that murder happened? But like, why would he be nearby in the road? Honestly, if it's a day or two, honestly, later, why would he want to stay nearby and be seen by anyone? Why would he still be carrying the arm after all that time? Why? The next morning, this memorandum murder the dam construction site director was reported. They mentioned that his right arm is still missing, so we learned who the arm belonged to. Oh, this is just a future narration. Okay, gotcha. Or this is your prophecy. You have prophecy powers. This man has a criminal record, and he's on probation. Just one assault charge, though, from the looks of it. Or at least the sound of it, anyway. Yet he committed another crime. I bet dismantled the body in order to hide it. I'm sure it depends on the circumstances, but he'll get more than just a few years in prison. A few? It's, again, I don't even know how it would work, honestly, in Japan system, but it seems like a lifetime thing in the US, honestly, based on the cruelty of it. And, yeah. Probably different stories with self-defense, but just from how it is, and no one is technically believing disease stuff, yeah, that's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. So you won't hesitate to accept a scumbag like him, right? Who knows, maybe he was a scumbag before and became violent due to the syndrome. Maybe he had gone straight and became violent again due to the syndrome. You make it sound like this is a drug to everyone's hyped up on now, God. The former is one thing, but if it's the latter case, it's not his fault. And that's why Hinamizawa syndrome is so terrifying. We can't tell the syndrome is the cause of the crime, or if it's simply a problem of the human nature. Well, you maybe can figure it out years later in your research. Maybe. But what caused the defect of human nature in the first place? That was precisely Erie's area of research. Again, going back and forth between first and third person. A bit weird. I hate the crime, not the criminal. Can criminals only be corrected by punishing them with imprisonment? If a person commits a crime because of mental disorder, but then gets treatment, he's corrected. In other words, there are no crimes in this world, only patients awaiting treatment without anyone else being able to understand them. Yeah, there's that too. That's technically what Reminds even goes to, just to giving people the benefit of the doubt anyway, like that. Then it's like, most of the time, like in most cases, honestly, in the real world, it's like not mental, I guess, disorders that cause of murders and crimes like that. It's like it's really just people who just like become just jealous or greedy or anything like that, or just absolutely wrathful. something, so yeah, generally speaking. In medieval times, patients with mental disorders were said to be possessed by demons, and they were either confined or killed. Centuries after, they were finally acknowledged as mentally ill people who need treatment. Perception can change with time. And if they are called criminals now, maybe after several centuries, those criminals will be acknowledged as patients who are entitled to appropriate treatment. Explaining crimes through illness instead of malice. That's my life's work. But you're doing the whole thing of removing parts of the brain, so maybe you had more advanced medical technique, I would probably listen to this a little bit more, but I guess trial and error stuff and like figuring out notes and research stuff, but Hinamizawa syndrome is a strange disease that can support my theory. Solving its mysteries is extremely important to me. It's a passion project. To solve these mysteries, I need a medical sacrifice. It's an extremely sinful thing to do, but there's no way to unravel this without it. The Erie Institute was authorized to take such drastic measures necessary. You were given a legal order. That's why I was asked about it so many times and accepted that position of director. And finally, the opportunity is here. This will be the first step of a research on this strange disease. But even now, I'm a little hesitant. I've opened up human bodies in many surgeries. What I'll be doing in this man is something very similar, but it's also something that's very different. What I did before was part of treatment. I did it to save the patients' lives. I did it so the patients could have a better future by taking part of some parts of their brain. Yeah. Yeah. But what I'm trying to do here isn't treatment. He will die at the end of it. His death will be far from humane. I'm gonna violate nature and force him to stay alive while I open up his living brain. Just that line alone just reminds me of how much probably like way many years in the past and many different eras, honestly, people would probably just like assume, and it was the whole process of making not touching dead bodies just because they're dead, don't desecrate the dead, all sort of thing, and probably any doctors or like morticians or autopsies, honestly, were just seen as practically just inhumane as well, honestly, until slowly being accepted. Probably like even go further than that, just doing this just be like playing God as well. I heard like several different stories and bring that up, like, well, even Frankenstein is really just the entire point of that, honestly. Just absolutely playing God, but just bring someone back to life, honestly, or at least some perfected version of it, honestly. And my God, I need to read that story, honestly, though. Director Erie, are you listening? Sorry. Could you repeat that? I believe best that we submit the dissection proposal to Tokyo, request their assistance. He's not only alive, but he's also in the terminal stage, so he's an extremely important specimen. We must conduct the dissection very carefully. That's true. You're right. Let's do as you say. I think we'll have a few days before the dissection, so I want to run some reaction tests once he's off the anesthetic. Do you think that's safe? If he's restrained, we don't know what will happen. We finally have the opportunity to test a live specimen. We can't only look into his brain. Takano-san's unusual cheerfulness made me feel odd. Maybe her reaction is normal. Maybe I'm the one who's not reacting normally in the situation. I'm here only for the research, so I should be excited to have the opportunity to perform our first live dissection. Yay! Moral justification in brain now. That's what we're seeing right now. But I'm still hesitant. How can I call myself a researcher? Researchers of the past were brave enough to cross the line. Yeah, basically. And that's how they accomplish many things. I've seen many brains, I've operated on them. I lost some patients too. I never thought anything of it because I knew I did the right thing. Based on your theories anyway, or what you thought was the right thing to think about and do, so, even if my hard work was to die afterwards. If it pained me to think of that, then I just need to advance the field of medicine to ensure their deaths weren't wasted. That's the true form of those advancing the field of medicine. Yet, why was my heart tormented so much just by changing the name from treatment to dissection? Does it mean I'm not man enough to emulate those great men of the past to open the doors to new medicine? I don't have the power to develop new advances myself? Hey, what's the matter, Director? Are you feeling okay? Takano's pretending to be concerned about me, but she knows She always knows. She knows I'm still hesitating. She's telling me that I should be ashamed as a researcher for feeling that way. Actually, how long has Eri been sitting on the dissection for Sadako the entire time then? Because holy shit, she's been there for, like, absolute weeks then, and, like, even from the sound of that, he's been holding it off, honestly. Oh my good god. I shook my head to clear the sleepiness. Remember those all that brought me here to this day. I already have blood in my hands. If I stop now, their lives will be wasted. Those who shed their blood can only rest in peace once they become the cornerstones of great research. I shook my head once more and reminded myself that I'm a researcher. Researcher first, and I'm a doctor second, apparently. But you said that you swapped that around before we talked, so I'm, No, I was just thinking. Takano-san, please make some arrangement with Tokyo. Let me know when it's done. Okay, understood. This is really exciting. The least I can do is my best, so his life won't be wasted. If he bleeds, I can't waste even a drop of his blood. They're scolding my staff for their indiscretion of discussing this section with such excitement. I returned to my office. Wait, so it's not Takano also doing this? Everyone else is excited about this? Okay, that's, okay. Alright. Okay, then. Alright. Would, wait, no, huh? Would that count as the decision then? Would that, like, from, we got the decision from the first sacrifice for this, but they're not making it clear what decision he's talking about here. That's my first thought. We go to this next. For Sadako Hojo's test result, but I feel like, again, it'll just be, discontinuation of it, honestly. It would be the next best thing, honestly. Would that count as his decision from this part, actually, or not? Because how vague some of these requirements are, it's hard to tell sometimes. Well, it's not blatantly wrong. It's technically his decision. The last one. If this is wrong, then don't blame me for it. Fucking God. I fucking knew it though. God damn it. And now this is broken pane glass now. Gosh dang it. It was vague on the decision part. God damn it, that's gonna stick with me forever now. God damn it. It was mostly from Sadako's decision then. We already had like 2 or 3 fragments just talking about goddamn Eri just thinking, just debating, should I dissect this little girl's brain? Should I? Shouldn't I? I'll just postpone it for a while. When is exactly his one fragment where he actually says, yeah, no? Where exactly is that then? Do you have anything of Rika's parents? The third year's curse hasn't been brought up yet. Parents, no. Would it really just be this, honestly? The must refuses a visit, because, like, it's the only thing I think on top of my head, and it's still in the same kind of subject matter. But it wasn't must refuse. Okay, I'll click this, and I swear, like, I'll take it. If it's like, it actually the way forward, then I'm, just reword it, honestly. If it's not, is it not? Yes, it's not, so, it's a bit weird to put it like that, then. We had 2 instances of it. It's a bit weird, vague to put requirements like that, then. Okay, then. So, we have to see a scene where Sadako literally just says, no, Satoshi, get out, now, now, leave, I said, now. Okay. So, like, that's, we already had 2 instances of, like, something similar to that happening, but, at least that's a bit more specific, but that one was very vague. That was very vague. So let's see, back to the beat of death, no. We don't have those 2 yet. The first part, the truth is Shirakawa and Parkins is required, we don't have that. Queen is not, that's the thing that's right, that's this, we can't connect to that just yet, no. So completion of medicine is not done yet. High fever, Rika, Tomataki's not there. Prior consent is cerebrospinal fluid is required. I don't think we have anything talking about that at any point. Or if we did, it was in here, honestly. Which I might need to reread through that to see if I did, because the word sounds familiar. Maybe that actually continues to that, actually. Possibly. Maybe that's next, actually. We don't have that. Not that. Part-time job is not brought up. That's not there yet either. No. Bottle of wine. Nope. 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 Okay. So let's look for the next best thing, honestly. Cerebrospinal fluid. If it's not that, then One of these is very oddly, vaguely worded for what the requirements are, or like I'm completely skipped over it. So is it this? It's not that? Okay. Okay, then. So something actually connects to one thing or another, then. Like, I feel like I'm in trial and error stage right now. Let's see, I think I think this a bit more. Discontinuation of the Kohojo's dissection plans required. Erie's word has not been stated yet at all. Third year's curse, not brought up. No. 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 L5. Like, this would have been it, but Rika hasn't acquired, like, you know, asked to be participate, so no, it's not it either. Not yet. Those research things have been touched upon, and technically don't have the whole truth of the park incident, I guess. Maybe let's talk about this, actually. So, no. Execution order for the third year's curse. No, we got a declaration of war, though. About to beat the ant to death. Nope. The completion of medicine C117 is required. No. High fever isn't that for both of them. No. His death hasn't been mentioned once. That has been brought up once. No. Footsteps have not been brought up once. Forgiveness of Reina Ryuga's sins not brought up at all. Bottled wine has not been brought up at all. The promise has technically been brought up, but the emergency manual I don't think has been brought up at least once at all, so... Family move, no. Satoshi Hojo's awareness of his sins, we don't have anything related to him on the ant's death, nope. Tease in the veranda, we heard of veranda before, but nothing with the tea set itself. Red capsule, it goes to the medication, the very first page, we haven't heard anything about that. Ryugu's not been moved here just yet, not even the curse. Moves not required, we have the watermelon, so no mention of that. Do we actually have to go through all this for all that? Oh, come on. The game board must be set up. But we don't have anything for the game board, though. I'm pretty sure one of the fragments will bring up about the whole game board, then. I'm assuming the game board actually means, but it's not going to bring up one of the chat, like one of the fragments here. It's only just some, every single page has been filled out, honestly, so... I'm now just a bit confused at where all this goes. I mean, his motive is there, but it's not... His thing is not... His plan was not completely stated in stone. So, really? Like, anything involving the third and fourth year of the curse, involving any of those people who died or went missing, I just know for a fact we can't click on them or touch them yet. And technically the first L5 stage patient dissection, we got that, but Rika's not there, so is it really just this? Because if it is, then is the Sadako Hojo's dissection plan was not pretty much put into stone that I'm, nope, we're not doing that. He never said it fully. Yep, nope, okay, I figured as much. We never heard a fragment of Irie saying him, nope, we're not doing that. It's always just him still in that phase, so I'm now just even more and more confused then. Was the kidnapping, like, actual orders in here, actually, brought up? It was in one of this, or in Tomotaki's thing. Oh, no, wasn't the other thing, and I completely glossed over that, then, oh, that was my own fault, then. Oh! Is there anything for that right here? Okay, this is talking just about all that, then. So that other one, that first required thing, actually talks to the kidnapping thing, which I vaguely remember it now, then that makes a lot of sense for us to go from next, then. Tam construction, where does it say anything about the the minister's, kidnapping? I remember they said it here, but I want to be completely and utterly sure. Pressure the minister construction. Yeah, okay, that's right here, then. Where does it say that? Well, pressure, well, it's mostly just saying that they did not, honestly. Han, does it say specifically that, he was kidnapped? Like, they brought their plans, honestly? Or is it just really just the fact that, they're planning something about that, and we're supposed to intuit that from there? Because trying to mix in a bunch of things we already learned from other installments to, solve this fragment puzzle seems a bit unfair unless it's brought up here. This is its own little puzzle. Make all the rules stick in place into the fragments itself, okay? Does it say anything about that, though? Damn. Of course not what happened, just taking longer. Drastic measures. Okay, does it say that? You don't need to worry about that part due to Irie, just please let's take care of it. Okay, thank you for your hard work. It's fine, it'll be called off as already been decided. Oh, okay, it was very vague, honestly. Irie only understood the meaning of those drastic measures when he examined a young boy who had never seen the village before. That's very vague. Okay, then. That's extremely vague. And with a combination of some other things of like Sadako does not saying they agree with the visit, honestly. It makes things very specifically worded. Is that literally what it is from his first snag, kidnapping operation the monsters Garrison are required. Instructions. But we did okay, no. That thing, like this did not talk about instructions for it. It just said there was a plan for it, but not the actual instructions for itself. I swear. Did it go to that? It crashed. I can't believe it. Alright, since the game, like, obviously didn't save, I had to go back and do all those old fragments myself and back to the ones I clicked already because I gotta have some standards, honestly. And if this was the one that technically crashed, and doesn't mean it's right, I swear, if the instructions are the thing that actually makes that unlock from that, then I swear. That was it? That was nothing, those instructions! That's literally what the requirement was. I call bullshit, actually. I call bullshit. I'm just now getting reminded of other puzzle games I've played where I get so far into the game where it sometimes ends up feeling like a guesstimation game, honestly, sometimes. Like there's nothing that showcases all the other rules I help you deduce is this thing. And that's the only answer it is? My good gosh, I'm feeling that same thing all over again. My good god, actually. You see those other cracked fragments game? That's on you. That's on you. That very night, the head of the Fruity family, the priest, gathered his wife and Rika together for a family meeting, inside the storage shed of their family estate, apparently. In Hinamizawa, it was tradition for the three families to gather and discuss the village's issues inside this tiny little shed. So it's hardly unusual for big families like the Sonozaki family, the Kimiyoshi family, to have meetings beforehand to sort out opinions among themselves. However, the Fruity family had lost branch families, so there were only 3 of them left. So until that day, they never had a family meeting at all. What is it? You're being so formal. Is it the dam construction? The dam was the most important issue in the village at the moment. The wife naturally assumed the priest wanted to talk about the dam. For him to gather all of them together like that, must be a huge decision he had to make. Perhaps he was going to talk about joining the pro-evacuation camp. No, it's not about the dam, but it's about something extremely important which concerns his village, and perhaps all the answers of villagers too. We're gonna get our daughter into being experimented on. Okay. The Fruity family had served in the priesthood of Oyashiro-sama, the guardian deity of the village, for generations. So for him, to head the family to start out that way must be something extremely important. And wasn't he also married into this as well? So he had to learn a bunch of different things all at once again, just to make this family. Oh boy. Yet he said it wasn't about the dam. So what could he want to talk about? I married into this family, so I want you and Rika, who carry the true blood of the Fruity family, to listen very carefully. Since I'm an outsider here, I'm technically the new man in the house, you listen to me instead. Okay. You two aren't normal human beings. You're abominations. My God. I thought you were gonna say, I'm a monster. I thought she was gleefully gonna say that for a split second. My dear God. I'm the reincarnation of Yoshiro-sama, right? Rika, you shouldn't say such things. Gail talk about things like that without her. He's heard enough nonsense from the other people at the village hall already. What she just said about her being the reincarnation of Yoshiro-sama, that appears to be true. Prophecies. What? It's a rather long story. Please, just sit tight and listen to me. The wife had a dumbfounded expression on her face, not knowing what he was gonna say. Rika was completely relaxed, wearing her usual carefree expression. She's already imagined in her mind, this is the same exact conversation, family meeting, all that. Just smile and let it come over, and let it just go over, honestly. We already knew this day was coming. This is all, I'm gonna hear the exact same words. The priest started to talk after his wife calmed down. There is a disease in this village that has been here for many years. It's a special disease that only exists here in this area. Everyone who lives in this village has a disease. Not only the people who live here now, but all the people who ever lived here have the disease. Huh. What? But we're all perfectly healthy. Never heard of disease exclusive to this village. Calm down. As long as we're here in this village, disease won't cause any problems. Once you move away from this village, that's when it starts to act out. Do you understand? Wait, if he knew about this before, and this is still around this damn conflict, then, oh my good god, he was completely fine with the Hojo family moving just because of that knowledge. Oh my good god, that's a whole extra level of that. Holy shit. Oh my good god. Oh my god. Oh my good god. How can you expect me to understand such a thing? I have no idea what you're talking about. It's the same as the curse of Ishiro-sama. Rika said it so calmly while her mother became frustrated. That's right. They said that when you leave this village, you're cursed. It's just like that. In other words, the curse of Ishiro-sama, which our ancestors have feared for generations, is actually a disease that only exists in this village. How could that be possible? We left the village before. Other villagers too. Some have gone on business trips and some even traveled to foreign countries. True. That's probably because the disease is weakened over a long time, so it was going to disappear eventually. The business of the dam disrupted that process. Everyone knew that during the dam war, the entire village was aflame with agitation, and the same goddamn passionate anger has stifled the parasite to go back to full bloom now. So excitement and emotional instability makes the disease stronger. I still don't understand what you're trying to say. What we thought was a curse all this time was actually caused by disease? You're crazy. That's right, I am crazy. All the rules that Oyashiro-sama came up with were to protect the villagers from disease. No way. Then Oyashiro-sama is actually disease, not a god. How could that be? You're just like, no, they still exist. The disease still exists, though. How can I explain that to fruity family ancestors? Calm down. The faith in Oyashiro-sama won't change. How did this guy learn all about this and not the mom? How? The fact that Oyashiro-sama is watching Hinamizawa will remain the same. Did one of the researchers of the Erie Institute basically just say, hey, can we, research on, your kid? There's a disease and all that, she made the best fit, honestly. She's the queen bug, honestly, the whole village here. Don't worry about it. And if, if the parents were told that, honestly, that'd probably even make the mom probably even more upset, actually, from all of it than, oh my god. Oh, god. It just means the disease producing Oyashiro-sama's curse was in this village since long ago. That's all. I won't accept that. How can I explain that to our ancestors? Again with that, just pray and just say disease. You can come up with something. This is a desecration of the fruity family's age-old traditions. No, this is a desecration of Oyashiro-sama. Oyashiro-sama wouldn't be fine with that. Rika, shut up. God damn it. Who told you such a thing? This isn't acceptable. In the first place, can you prove the disease actually exists? Did Hanyo actually know the disease actually exists from all these years, actually? Or did she forget about it after everything? Or just, she just here, not realizing it's a human disease, just man, all these people are really strange. It's like she went through other towns and nations, wow, these people in Hinamizawa are thirsting for blood already. They're bloodthirsty. My good god. I can. What kind of proof? Who gave it to you? The people from the Ministry of Health and National Institute of Infectious Disease Prevention. What? They already found the pathogen, and they are searching for a cure right now. I saw the documents and the samples last week. The people of the Ministry of Health call it Hinamizawa syndrome. So they're literally getting parental permission. No way. As long as they lead a normal life, the syndrome is harmless. That product, did they not share it with the other families then? The other 3 families? Oh my good god. It's only just their family, nothing else. Oh my good god. But once you go far from Hinamizawa, or if you become emotionally unstable, it's easy for the disease to manifest itself and take over. When the disease acts out, you can be possessed by your own delusions and, in the worst case scenario, you go mad. I discovered this disease during the war. A distinguished scholar noticed that only the soldiers from Hinamizawa came down with abnormal disease, and he has been researching it all these years. I explained some details of this research, but I'm sorry, they are too complicated for me to explain. Just get one of them on the line just to talk to the mom on and off, honestly. If you don't believe him saying, why don't you go listen to them yourself? At first I was indignant too, wondering how they dared to blaspheme Yoshiro-sama and spout such nonsense. Hanya's there in the background, just like, I don't really care. My good god. The Erie Clinic was built to study the syndrome. It appears to be just a clinic on the outside, but it's actually a secret research center for studying the syndrome. They have so many basement levels to study all about this. They've already dissected the one killer already. Secret research? That's ridiculous! It's like something you read from a middle school book novel. If it's actually backed by the Ministry of Health, why aren't they doing it out in the open? Well, I guess they can't. For example, think about leprosy victims who are misunderstood and exiled. They are still misunderstood and discriminated against, even today, in fact. The whole country finds out about this and thinks that everyone in Hinamizawa who's contracted this weird disease can go mad at any moment. They'll turn to chaos. The Ministry of Health has taken that into consideration and is working on developing a cure while keeping the disease a secret. Don't get me wrong, though. They aren't trying to put us on display or anything. They're trying to eliminate the disease and free this village from it. It was a different story long ago when we supported ourselves, but nowadays it's impossible to leave the village. The simple act of leaving the village can trigger disease. You realize how dangerous it is for the villagers, right? I'm repeating myself now, but in the recent dam protests, the whole village entered a strong, excited state, which is very bad for the Hinamizawa syndrome. So it's the government's fault for all this. Some villagers go crazy and do something horrible, be all over the media. That's right. If that happens, it'll be too late. But just trying to figure out some way to deny all this still, just looking in her hands. How can I believe this? Are you sure we're dealing with people from the government? Are you sure you aren't being tricked? I don't blame you for not being able to believe it. They said we can come take a look at their facility anytime. I've seen it before. I know that no mere fraud could set up something like that. Or just very, very detailed cardboard cutouts of machinery. And just very, very detailed mannequins of dead bodies, honestly, you see, in the morgue. Even the big hospitals in Gogura don't have such large-scale equipment. If you can't believe what I just told you, you should go to the research center yourself and ask questions. They can explain it better than I can. They said if their explanation isn't good enough, they can explain it to you at the National Research Institute in Tokyo, or even the Ministry of Health's main office. Whether I believe it or not, how are we related to that? Because we had the disease, weren't you listening, Rika's mom? It is said that the Furuta family inherited the blood of Yoshiro-sama. It is also said that if a girl was born for 8 continuous generations, that the 8th generation girl will be the reincarnation of Yoshiro-sama. I can't tell the superstition or literally just because I'm, Oh wait, no. It's literally just that superstition stuff, but every time, I guess, a female is born with a Furuta family bloodline, everyone treats her the same way. Wait, I'm now confused exactly how the disease works, because now I just realized that from the sound of it, even Rika's mom is weirded out by how all the elders interact with Rika, so she never had the kind of treatment when she grew up either, from the sound of it. So what scientific marvel is there for disease to work, honestly, that makes only that one specific generation of the main carrier of the disease, that is basically just the holy queen mother of the bugs, honestly, disease, to get such treatment and to be labeled as such? What scientific thing has that? Okay. Meep. That's right. I'm the 7th, and Rika's the 8th generation. What does that have to do with the disease? This Hinamizawa syndrome is caused by a type of parasite, although they're very tiny. You can't even see them with a naked eye. I mean, yeah, it's kind of all viruses anyway. They say there's a sort of leader among those parasites. So who was the parasite before Rika was born then? Are you saying that's the Furuta family? It appears the leader of these parasites is passed down through the generations only by people with a direct bloodline to the Furuta family. And look at that, you joined, and look at that. You certainly signed up for something certainly special there, Rika's dad. You have signed up for something special. In other words, in the previous generation, it was you, and now it's Rika. But again, I just mentioned that I don't think Rika's mom ever had that thought in her brain that she grew up like that, though. Meep, happy smile. You are part of a bug queen infestation ever against everyone here, honestly. My good god, that's hilarious. That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. How would it be something that's disgusting as parasites in the first place? Calm down. I'm not good at explaining things. Please let the experts explain it to you. According to them, studying this parasite leader is necessary in order to research the disease. No. I won't have anything to do with such suspicious research. And Rika won't either. I'm telling you to calm down. I think the Hinamizawa syndrome acts out when separated from the parasite leader, not the village itself. When you were little, do you remember villagers telling you that you had psychic powers? You're able to cure elderly people who got migraines that are taking a long trip. That's the proof that you were carrying the parasite leader. Only those people and nothing else? So, what was it? What's so potent in Rika's blood that makes everyone now just yes, thank you, Rika-chama. You have certainly helped and aided us all by your presence. And not her mom? I'm just... Again, the fruity bloodline has the power to cure people with disease. Okay. To discover a cure, it's extremely important that we participate in their research. Just a little research into the Fruity family, they're just gonna try to figure out exactly why their fucking presidents just makes them cure of it. They're literally making research into how a person has good vibes, technically speaking. That's hilarious to think about. That's hilarious. We can now solely feel why this person has good vibes as everyone in the world. And why this person has the bad vibes. My god. If they study me, will the villagers be saved? That's what they say. And all the villagers are infected? Me? Everyone else? Sadako too? Yes. Not only the people who live in the village, but the relatives in Okinomiya too. Is this literally, like, around when Sadako's parents were killed? Is this? We're talking thousands of people. That's why the Ministry of Health spent so much money to build a specialized research center. I object. How can you let Rika be sacrificed for something that's suspicious? I don't mind. Sadako can be saved. I don't mind being sacrificed. I really don't. And this is like several years into the loop, honestly. Then of course you don't. Oh my good god. You be quiet, Rika. You're not becoming a martyr in this household. I absolutely refuse. I would talk to them and refuse them directly. I won't let them kill Rika in some crazy experiment. So are they actually technically people who decide to kill both the parents then? That leads to the question of how would Rika not realize something suspicious is happening? And why did they kill the dad then too? Because in the sound of it, he's supportive of it. The mountain dogs, like, can make anything look like a pure accident, then they could technically do it to the mom, but from the sound of it, they killed the dad first and made the mom go away afterwards, so why? Besides, Rika's the one and only heir of the Fruity family. What something happens to her, the Fruity family will die right there. Don't you see that? Or, you could happen to a child. We probably shouldn't discuss that in front of Rika, so... You need to think more about our family. That's why the villagers call you an opportunist. Okay, so that goes to that requirement. Again, I can't believe that was so specific requirement for this fragment. I am still a bit annoyed. Don't you think it's odd? The Ministry of Construction is trying to submerge the village. The Ministry of Health is trying to cure a disease. What in the world is going on? Yes, the world is very topsy-turvy, honestly. The Ministry of Health has warned this disease could be triggered by a changing environment, so they're actually trying to have the Ministry of Construction stop the damn construction plan. And the Ministry of Construction is like saying, fuck you, no way, Jose. We don't care about medical stuff right here. We worry about progress and nothing else. You really should go to this research center. Why would they build such a huge facility in a location that could be submerged? Rika let a big yawn. It was a long past bedtime for a little girl like her. We're talking about adult stuff, big kid stuff. I'm going to bed now. Dad, please let them know I'm willing to participate, okay? Rika! Martyrdom. You can't make such a decision without consulting me. But she consulted with her dad. Isn't that good enough? Rika! Wait, Rika! Oh, well, okay, well, this opened up everything else. This is literally just the bottleneck of the fragments, honestly. I couldn't figure out. My good god. Still a bit annoyed about that. I'm still just gonna keep all this other broken fragment stuff just to show how fair it is, honestly, but still. So is it not that? It was not discontinued yet, but data test result and decision, we still don't have that. We can't get to those two yet. Literally, we just have to learn. We literally just have to get discontinuation, honestly. It's probably actually wants wants there to be I guess either one of these two requirements to change about the decision or the discontinuation of Satoko's section plan to be I guess changed so it doesn't become that obvious, because reading through all of this, this is the biggest what is happening requirement when you read it first time. It's on the first page, no less. I didn't even react to the first time because I was flabbergasted by everything. But my good god. So okay, let's see. Where else was it? No 5-stage patience dissection is required. Okay, I swear. This goes to this person, the first sacrifice, okay? The main culprit of the dam construction site. That means this must be the next best thing, right? Click. You better. Good. I would have even a more bigger fit, honestly, than didn't count. Rudy-san, thank you for waiting. We just finished the last test. She'll be back soon. I hope she's able to help. Oh, she literally actually did go ahead with it. Screw you, Mom. I'm gonna put myself under experimentation for science. Of course. Rika-san will help out the whole village. I think we'll be able to come up with a treatment soon. We're still looking to the structure, but we're finding out how important Rika-san is to the villagers. People with more serious conditions can't stabilize themselves. I mean, yeah, I'm still getting weirded out by why Takano, wanted to kill Rika, honestly, before instead of it learning with a cure and all that. Again, it's still a bit weird. Again, so what? Maybe the fragment talking about I forgot. Koizumi died. Maybe that changes her, I guess, goal somewhat from focusing her grandfather's research to becoming gaining god complex even more. Honestly, probably leads to that. Honestly, talking about it, maybe so. People with more serious conditions can't stabilize themselves, but we found out if they get close to the Queen Carrier, they generate some kind of substance in their brain. The good vibe substance. The substance has a calming effect. It seems to have a power to bring their symptoms down. The endorphins, the dolphins, are invading the brain, making the brain calm. If we can produce a substance, it'll end up making for a powerful treatment. I see. Rika has that kind of power. Just being in the presence of her makes everyone calm down. You shouldn't be surprised. People say that maidens of the Fruity Shrine have the psychic power to calm both souls and demons, don't they? The goddamn demons are still in the town. Even before we discovered it, it was already recorded in the history of the last few hundred years. That's true. I'm impressed with how wise people were back then. Meep, I'm special. The tests are all done. Oh, Rika, good work. You must be getting tired. Why don't you go take this and go get some to drink? Orange juice. Meep. I take a lot of my blood, so I need to replenish. Oh, blood test. Yeah, you probably need, actually, something that replenish, honestly. Drink and something sugary, honestly. Don't know exactly how it leads to all that. Usually donuts or cookies are the first thing that comes to mind after you get a blood test, honestly. You take blood away from someone, in a blood drive. Don't know exactly how that technically helps, but it makes me want to eat something sugary, honestly, for free. Then yeah. Well, not in this case. Rika has to fucking pay for it. God damn it. This is tyranny. You should guys have free donuts for this. Rika took the 100-yen coin that was offered to her and ran out into the hallway. I appreciate Rika-san's help. If she hadn't offered her assistance, her research wouldn't have progressed this far. Rika is very concerned about her friend with the syndrome. She said she wants to help because of her. Doctor, please take Rika's feelings into account. Yeah, actually, by this point, because I'm, the sound of it, actually, learning about so either they literally all told her about so they either Eerie told her about Sadako has L5, honestly, and maybe a tiny bit of the syndrome itself, or legitimately oh my good god, the people of the Ministry of Health actually just told that to him and the family, honestly, and without the institute's consent, honestly, just to try to maybe appease them, honestly, or like Rika or the family like realized that shortly after, and at that point they really couldn't dissect Sadako without people getting weirdly up in arms about it, or actually no, Rika would actually get really upset about that, obviously. And since Rika is like, the head, I guess, queen for this whole disease thing, it's better to not upset her, especially with her best friend's death, honestly. So yeah, I'm just wondering if they told Rika that Sadako has a disease too and is an L5, or that was the health ministry. Probably just Eerie changed his mind at the very last second after he found out that the Fruity family was asked to do the research, honestly. Probably that, honestly. Of course, we're taking up her precious time every Sunday, so I'll make sure to get to the bottom of this. We may have to put her through some rather rough experiments, but I hope you understand. We'll never harm her anyway, though. She's such an important person. She's the reincarnation of Yashiro-sama, after all. I don't know what these rough experiments would be, but if it's rougher than blood drive, then I can only imagine. Like X-rays like that. That's not really rough though. But so what? Something that's rougher, but harder, but doesn't harm her anyway. What? I wonder how people back then found out about the syndrome. Probably just social dynamics and gut feelings, instincts, and how they knew the Fruity family were the descendants of the queen. I'm truly impressed. By the way, there's something I had to ask you. I'd like to ask you for permission to collect her cerebrospinal fluid. Okay, so it goes to that. Okay, I'm that fragment then. Also, there's a chance that we'll have to drill a hole in her skull to examine the inside of her head. A hole in her skull? That sounds like harming her, honestly. Of course, take every precaution. Rika-san is the one and only queen of Carrier. We'll make sure that she's safe. Her safety is our top priority. Of course, since Rika-chan is a girl, we won't shave her entire head. Oh. However, we'll have to ask her to stay at the clinic a little longer so we can keep your eyes on her. The stress of surgery. You can still receive visitors, of course. You're more than welcome to attend an examination. You can watch us as we fucking drill a hole in your daughter's head. Yay, thank you for the invitation. What the fuck? What the fuck? I'm sure she'd be more relaxed and have someone else she knows nearby. I mean, I guess, but inside the room for the sound of it? She has to be awake for it? What the fuck? Do you really need to perform this examination? Is it really safe? I mean, I can absolutely guarantee your safety for either collecting cerebrospinal fluid or for drilling a hole in her skull. Didn't you just say you would make sure she was safe and now you can't guarantee it now? Pick one or the other. There's always the off chance something might go wrong. Also, Rika may suffer from some physical and emotional discomfort. Even if it's this important, we can't perform it without the parent's consent. Don't tell me the whole emotional consent, like the emotional discomfort thing is just what causes her depression later on. No, please don't do that. Don't explain it away like that. Please don't. Actually, I've already talked to Rika-chan about it. What did she say? She said it's fine. I've explained to her the possibility of danger, but we still need your consent. The parents is like, no, we can't let our only child be put in danger. It's like we're just like, no, I've been through this already. Don't worry about it. Already? Sometimes Rika truly believes that she's the reincarnation of Yashiro-sama, so maybe she feels obligated to sacrifice herself for the villagers. What an impressive child. Could you please let me talk to my wife? You already know her answer. She understands the situation, but I still need to explain it to her. Sure, of course. Please talk it over with her. So this examination is an extremely important step in the process of stamping out the syndrome, right? Yes. It will solve the mysteries of Hinamizawa syndrome for sure. At least, it'll be the first step. As I already explained, if something happens to the Queen Carrier, the whole community here may be in danger. In other words, it's possible the whole village could end up with terminal symptoms. That's right. According to the studies, within 48 hours of the death of the Queen Carrier, everyone with the disease will become dangerously sick. We must prevent that from happening no matter what. If something happens to Rika, the whole village will go insane. Yeah, have fun with that. Yes, it's our job to prevent that. It might seem ironic that we have to put your daughter in danger, but this is the only way to stand by the syndrome. That you know of. Dr. Erie, I hope you will succeed in the examination. As I said, there are no guarantees in medicine. Sure. Erie answered with a nod, interrupting Takano's vague response. Okay, so that one involving distrust the mother of the queen then must go to this, and probably goes into this, like, the next year's sacrifice then. I figure that's gonna be the deal breaker, honestly. One of the most important fragments to think about. Oh boy. I will succeed. I'll save Rika-san, and the villagers too. I promise. Okay, I'll talk to my wife then. I'll let you know our decision. Yes, thank you. And off he goes. Did he just leave without Rika, actually? After Rika and her father left, Takano started to laugh. What is it? What's so funny? Oh, nothing. I just thought it was amusing to get permission from both the patient and her parents beforehand. Rika-chan is going through something she doesn't have to. I thought I should as a courtesy. I would have gotten consent from the man last year, but had he been in normal condition. Are you being tormented with guilt ever since you started your research here? What do you mean? This type of teasing was normal from Takano, but maybe she had gone a little too far. Erie made it clear how displeased he was to hear that. You can only research Hinamizawa syndrome by using living beings. You feel guilty continuing your work because of that. So, oh, now he feels good about this, but he was completely fine with using literal lobotomies then. Okay, different priorities. Okay. Those guilty feelings are a necessity. If there's a murder or dissection, the fact that you're taking someone's life is the same. You made it sound like like you were fine with your past patient's death, though. Well, probably more likely just trying to channel that guilt to advancing medicine and all that. But still, honestly, we had to accept that. At the same time, devote ourselves to our research. That's an extremely impressive theory you have there. Then, Dr. Erie, how many times have you gotten consent before you cut into people's brains? No! No, she's got you there. You didn't think Takano knew about that. How many brains have you cut up without consent? Using your selfish theory that people commit crimes due to mental disorders as your excuse. That is... Common sense changes with time. Back then, doctors didn't need to explain anything or get consent beforehand. So I don't think you have to be concerned about the past. Do you? Be a problem now, but it was okay back then, right? So that's fine. But you feel guilty. That's why you want to get consent from Rika-chan beforehand, and why you wanted to get it from him, right? That's not true. The first place of treatment in this section are... Oh, listen, boy. What you want is a stamp of forgiveness known as prior consent, right? What you want is some stamp of forgiveness. Some deception to fill your heart so you can atone for your past sins. Man, I gotta research more into difference in Christian and in Jewish forgiveness now. It's coming up more and more. If you regretted what you've done, then you never get involved with brains again. Yet you're dragging regrets behind as you continue to deal with brains, guilty all the while. If you truly acknowledge your actions as a sin, then you would have refused to accept the appointment as director. Isn't that right, boy? Why are you just suddenly calling him boy like that? I don't need to listen to this. Excuse me. Isn't it... How... Is Erie older than Takano or not? I don't know. You must listen. Because, like, Takano's older, honestly, it makes it funnier, but if it's not, then it's a tiny bit weird. You must listen. The field of medicine is constantly won in battles against that era's ethics and social values. When Dr. Takano discovered the existence of the syndrome, the people in power at the time just disregarded their own ignorance and scoffed at his foresight. But he didn't stop researching until he collapsed. He believed that somebody he'd be acknowledged. Yeah, probably just because of the whole thing, like, politically and all that. Oh god, what was it? I forget the one surgeon's name, but there was a time, like, very old days, honestly, where one surgeon, like, would, like, decide to, like, sit down and, like, actually examine, like, what organs there were in the human body. But, no one absolutely decided to do that until he did, because, everyone, back then, it would just decide that, every single animal had the exact same organs from species to species. Like, they even compared, like, they literally just, compared it from monkeys, I think, at one point. And I don't think they technically have we have the exact same organs to a monkey, so, there was a bunch of different things, honestly. If it wasn't for that, medicine was probably a bit weird back then. And until that happened, yeah, that's gonna be a sudden shit in, I guess, medical practice. Oh boy. He believed that someday he'd be acknowledged. Even if he was after he died, he still believed in it. He could do that only because of how strong his conviction was. If it wasn't for that, he would have given up. A strong will is what keeps research going. Only the most determined can achieve a result. But you don't have that. You're a coward who still can't decide if he should be proud or ashamed of his achievements. How could you accept the position of a director with such half-hearted determination? You knew from the beginning that this research would be brought to fruition without adding further blood to your already stained hands. I don't know what to say. I'm just now wondering, besides the whole fact that Eerie is, I guess, better to work with and handle manipulate under Takano's I guess, words and her position than this honestly is another reason why she came and did this. She brought this up, honestly. It's another reason. Like, she can put him into place, honestly. But and if Chili just thought of this recently, then foresight. Yeah. Maybe I am half-hearted. I think he would still have a full heart. Don't worry about it. Then why don't you resign? You still have the obligation to keep things secret, but at least you won't be able to feel guilty anymore. You may be my partner, but you're also simply a person who was requested by my client. Now that this research institute is fully developed, you aren't needed. If you don't even have the necessity determination to do the research to begin with, you're an especially useless partner. I'll never quit researching. So, yeah, by this point, Eerie technically now, like, literally now knows he literally is just being a puppet, honestly. He wasn't here to, like, actually, like, help with the research. Many different people could have taken the same place. He wasn't brought on for anything special. That probably contributed to him, when he decided to take painkillers then, and, whenever the entire event happened. Almost every route, honestly. I guess we first learned of it in the 3rd chapter with him, his introduction, finding out his death by the end of it, honestly. Before the bridge scene, anyway. I'll never quit researching. I'm not afraid of guilt or regret. My conviction is what will take me to the future. Just like Dr. Takano succeeded, I'll succeed alone. That's impressive. However, though my determination may not come close to yours, I too have a will, and that's why I'm here. As you said, I already have blood on my hands. After riding Hinamizawa, they got even bloodier. So I can't just run away from my responsibilities. I'll probably continue to be tormented by my unatoned sins. But I won't run. I'll get to the bottom of Hinamizawa syndrome. That's the least I can do for all the people who gave their lives to this research, and also for those who will give their lives from now on. Eerie wore a determined look in his face. He appeared different from even a moment before, when he was baffled by Takano having brought up those painful memories. For a short while, Eerie's eyes displayed his strong will, and they turned around, emphasis on short while. We'll probably get consent for Rika-chan's examination, so please start preparing for it. Yes, I understand. Director. They got their consent the following week. That puts a damper on their little working relationship then, doesn't it? My good gosh. Well, actually, things are kind of looking up, honestly, now. At least now we know exactly what more fragments to go from here. Just learning more about, I guess, like, about the slowly changing perspective of Eerie himself and the clinic actually is kind of pretty much interesting. Like, so far, Takano hasn't really changed too much that we can see, honestly. At least because right now, almost every single fragment that involves her right now is always from some outside perspective. and by this point, from what we know of her, she seems like she acts the same somewhat. So she really just only evolved into like this, I guess, version of stuff, honestly, or like she just kept her determination and will just only to grow in this way, honestly, and nothing else. She wasn't being wishy-washy of what she takes in, honestly, all that. Especially with I guess the goal of the region, honestly, she would honestly try to mold herself to be the person to get all the things necessary to actually make sure the research actually then get started, honestly. So it makes sense why she decided to get a bit more hard and get social, get smarter, like studying and researching all the way through college, and making connections and all that through the government. So, it's actually kind of interesting to see the juxtaposition between the two of them. We only got like one bit of a fragment talking about Erie's backstory, but we're seeing just a lot of different things of how he's changing slowly, like both how he's taking the research in comparison to Takano, honestly. So, that's actually very interesting to think about. And that probably goes to this. We don't have anything to medicine though, so so the distrust has to come up further on. I thought that actually would be right after that fragment, actually we would have gotten it, but since they got their consent from the experiment later that week, then this must be for something else. And I'm not planning to go back to my, I guess, idea that the fact that it wasn't, I guess, planned and it wasn't just disease, but if Rika's dad actually did die from the Hinamizawa disease, does that mean him and his wife got into argument and they kill each other, or was like the Mountain Dog's doing? Or this new quote-unquote disease, which we never heard any mention of, honestly. It's only been labeled as just disease, is really just the cover story for Mountain Dogs then? Interesting. Okay, so I'm gonna look through again all the fragments and these tips, honestly, see to go through next, because even then, like, just realizing this little thing, the instructions, the kidnapping operation, the minister's grandson, was very vague, all from just this fragment. I'm still not a tiny bit over that. Like, I can get over it fine, but like, I'm just a bit annoyed that's actually what we're required, and honestly, because everything else seems like it flows nicely, but that like just seemed like I'm vaguely pointed, and I guess you're supposed to figure out immediately that connects to him in the fourth installment, actually, I guess, but still, it feels a bit vague as well. Like, some of these feel like they could be changed, honestly, for, I guess, the requirements to make it more clear. This is probably the clearest one of them all, the discontinuation of the section plan is required, like, that's the most. I feel like that should be added to this if they had to do that, because the decision, honestly, it could go to anything, honestly, just by that itself. Like, we now know it has to be for the section thing, but yeah, honestly. Still need, we're slowly getting involved in I guess the Fruity family's, I guess, family dynamic, and I guess learning a tiny bit of how the dad and the mom operated. We only heard bits and pieces of like how the mom operated, like through her own diary in the fourth chapter's diary, honestly, and small things there. And I guess the small allusions that Rika made in her own tips there about her own mom, and I guess hanging out with Sadako or anything like that. But now we're just hearing a bit more with the dad, besides the full fact of he was an opportunist. But I'm thankful that he only learned about the whole disease thing after the damn product happened, and from the sound of it, I guess after Sadako's parents were killed, because that opens up an entire new can of worms if he learned about this. He was told by the Ministry of Health and all that around the time the damn product was happening for all of this, or even like after it happened and before, Sadako's parents or all that. I just opened up an entire can of worms that he feel like he'd be the most duplicitous in all this, honestly. Just oh yeah, I know they're diseased, honestly, and well, technically we all are, but I'm not gonna say that. But they should be exiled from the town, honestly, and they should never be around this area ever again. That's like a certain death sentence, then, honestly, from not even just for and just like, going crazy and all that, but just literally just making more crimes and actually just growing even more worse because of it. Like, that's just an entire can of worms, honestly, was that. I'm glad there's that small things cleared up, honestly, with the timing, honestly. That was a horrifying realization to come to before they just said what time area it was. And we're definitely just been jumping back and forth throughout time, honestly, to get all of these, which, yeah. It kind of would have been a bit cool to see it chronologically, but I guess for the association game itself, I guess this is the next best thing. They're reminded of him, apologize to his final case, honestly, a bit from all of this, honestly. Yeah, that was great. I had some small things, I had some small nitpicks about that game, but that case, honestly, but it was really fun, honestly. Okay, we're slowly unwinding things down. We're slowly getting to Fruities, to probably getting closer to what was the reason behind why Rika's dad and mom completely died. Was it because of the Mountain Dog itself, the Hinamizawa syndrome, or literally some other third thing we don't know? But I guess we'll see when it all comes to it, which we'll find out for next time. So, hope you had a fun time watching the Zai again playing this. Hope to see you next time, what time that may be. And I hope a fantastic day.